Hello, sports fans. We are ready for NFL picks for week number 6 in the league where they play for pay. No long pause needed. Let's get right down to business this week. Let's go down to Atlanta where the Atlanta Falcons are minus 10.5 against the Miami Dolphins. Atlanta 3-1, coming off a bye, lost to Buffalo 2 weeks ago. Julio Jones will play, Sanu will not. Miami up to 2-2, beat Tennessee in an awful offensive game. The fans were booing Cutler the whole game, even though Miami was winning for a lot of this game. Cutler in the Miami offense was atrocious. The Miami defense has been playing decent this year. The Miami offense is absolutely awful. I'm going to take Atlanta here, minus 10.5. I could also use them in a teaser. I have to think Atlanta at home is going to have too much firepower for the Dolphins. The Dolphins just cannot score any points. I mean, they haven't been over 20 points once this year, have they? Can't think they're going to go into Atlanta. Atlanta off a bye and a loss. Julio Jones playing. Atlanta's going to have too much firepower. Atlanta is pick number 1. Pick number 2, let's go to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where the Kansas City Chiefs are minus 3.5 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kansas City up to 5-0, beat Houston. Kansas City can do no wrong right now. They look like one of the best teams in football. Again, it's all about the playoffs for the Chiefs. It's all about getting to the Super Bowl. It's all about Andy Reid getting that Super Bowl. Pittsburgh down to 3-2, lost to Jacksonville. Terrible loss by the Steelers. Pittsburgh was up 9-7 in the third quarter, and then Big Ben just blew up this game. 5 interceptions, 2 run back-to-back possessions. Jacksonville runs back an interception. It goes from 9-7 Steelers to 29 Jacksonville in a matter of seconds. So, awful offensive performance by the Steelers. Big Ben terrible. Steelers offense has not been great this year. You know they have Brown on the outside. He's not getting a lot of help. Bell looks rusty in the backfield. Remember, he held out in training camp. Big Ben looks a little shaky now. Steeler offense not looking good. Give Jacksonville's defense credit. We'll get to them in a couple of minutes. But this was a bad loss for Pittsburgh. Remember, Pittsburgh was 3-1. They were all alone in first place. They had played 3 of the first 4 on the road. They were going to have a lot of home games coming up. They could have got this game. You're talking about a nice season. This was a definite step back for Pittsburgh. These are the type of games that Pittsburgh loses that cost them home field. Like if they go to New England in the playoffs, this is one of the reasons why. New England won't lose to Jacksonville at home. Despite Jacksonville being improved and all that, New England will find a way to beat them. Pittsburgh lost here. That's why Pittsburgh never has home field throughout the playoffs. That's why they always end up in Foxborough where they never win. This was not a good loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I got to go with Kansas City here. They're more together. They can do no wrong. They're a complete team. They're home. They're going to want a little revenge. Pittsburgh knocked them out of the playoffs last year at Arrowhead. I think Kansas City is more complete right now. I like the Chiefs. That's pick number 2. Pick number 3. Let's go to the Mile High City in Denver, where the Denver Broncos are minus 11 against the New York Giants. Denver 3-1, off a bye, 3-0 at home. They've been amazing at home. They clubbed the Cowboys at home. Denver defense swarming all over the field. Giants 0-5. Odell Beckham out for the year. Giants lost all their receivers against the Chargers. The Giants are so bad that the Chargers found a way to beat them. The Chargers, who blow games every week, found a way to beat the Giants in the Meadowlands. The Giants are done. Good night. Goodbye. Now you have a depleted receiving core going up against that Denver defense. The Giant offensive line is shaky. They have no running game, no receivers left. Eli looks lost. Denver's defense is going to be all over them. Look for Denver to roll in this game. I like Denver. That's pick number 3. Pick number 4. Let's go down to Houston, where the Houston Texans are minus 9.5 against the Cleveland Browns. Houston down to 2-3. I'll tell you, Houston is now an offensive team. We thought they were going to have a good defense and a bad offense. Now they have a good offense and their defense is decimated. Watson looks good on offense. Houston lost to the Chiefs. They made it competitive late, but the game, you know, the Chiefs had such a big lead in that game. So Houston falls, but the offense, the Houston offense, they're moving the ball. Watson is moving the ball. He looks really, really good. I'll tell you a few teams that may regret not taking Watson. The Jets, Jacksonville, Cleveland, I mean, they may regret not taking Watson. He looks like he could be a star. But the Texan defense now, Watt out for the year, Merciless out for the year, Cushing suspended. I mean, they got so many guys out on defense now. Houston has become an offensive team. We thought they'd be good on defense. They've reversed roles now. Cleveland, 0-5, lost to the Jets, changed quarterbacks. What else is new with the Browns? Listen, despite Houston having all these guys out on defense, I got to think they can handle Cleveland at home. Houston's been putting up points. I can't take the Browns on the road. I just can't do it. Texans are pick number 4. Pick number 5. Let's go down to D.C. where the Washington Redskins are -10 against the San Francisco 49ers. Washington 2-2, off a bye, lost a tough game to Kansas City 2 weeks ago. Norman will be out for this game. Niners 0-5. The Niners have been close in the last 4 games. They have been unlucky. They lost again in overtime. They lose to the Colts. The Niners have been competitive. They just can't get over the hump. They don't have a lot of offensive firepower either, but they have been battling. They have been hanging in the game. They just can't catch a break. I got to like Washington here. Washington's coming off a bye. They look very improved. I like the improvements to the coaching staffs. I like the offensive line. They get really physical on the offensive line. They were unlucky against Kansas City. It could easily be 3-1. This is a game Washington has to have. Home game against the Niners. You know, tough division with Philly doing so well. We figured Dallas is going to come around. Washington needs this game. You can't afford to lose to the Niners at home. So I think Washington will be ready off a bye. Niners hang in the game for 3 quarters, then Washington pulls away. I like Washington. That's pick number 5. Pick number 6, let's go down to the Big Easy, New Orleans, where the New Orleans Saints are -4 against the Detroit Lions. New Orleans 2-2 off a bye. They've won 2 straight. Detroit down to 3-2, lost to Carolina, fell behind by a lot, tried to rally late, fell a little short. Stafford, will he play this week? Ankle, hamstring, questionable right now. We'll see if he plays. If Stafford plays, I'll probably move this line to 10 and take Detroit in a teaser. If he doesn't, I'll probably throw it out. I may take New Orleans in a money line, maybe, depending on where the spread goes. But Stafford plays, I move the line to 10. I take the Lions. That's pick number 6. Pick number 7. Let's go down to Baltimore, where the Baltimore Ravens are -7 against the Chicago Bears. Chicago down to 1-4, fell to Minnesota in a close game last night. Chicago rookie quarterback did some okay things, made some bad plays, just what you expect from a rookie quarterback. Bears much better at home than on the road this year. Ravens 3-2, blew out Oakland. The Ravens couldn't score a point against Jacksonville and Pittsburgh, but they went out to Oakland and they scored on every possession against the Raiders. They started right in the opening play of the game. I mean, the Ravens were all over the Raiders last week. That was an awful job by the Raiders. We'll get to them in a second, but Baltimore showed some life. I have to think at home, Baltimore going up against a rookie quarterback will find a way. So I'll probably move this line down to 1, take Baltimore in a teaser. I got to think they're going to be able to harass that rookie quarterback in their building. Baltimore's pick number 7. Pick number 8, let's go to the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Not too far from here with the New England Patriots at -9.5 against the New York Jets. Patriots up to 3-2, beat Tampa in an ugly Thursday night game. Looks like Gronk will play this week. How about the Jets? They're 3-2. They've won 3 straight. They beat Cleveland, and this game is a big division game. Who thought in Week 6 the Jets would be playing a big division game, first place on the line with New England coming into town? Who would have thought that? Listen, I have to respect what the Jets are doing. I do respect what they're doing. They're playing hard. I didn't think they were going to win more than 3 games this whole year. Having said that, I got to think New England's going to find a way to win. Hard to see the Jets going to 4-2 and going into first place. If that happens, you really have a story. But I have to think the New England Patriots are going to find a way. Maybe move the line down to 3.5. You got to think New England is going to get through here somehow, some way. When we look at the standings next week, New England's got to be 4-2, and the Jets got to be 3-3. I'll take New England. That's pick number 8. Pick number 9, let's go to Minnesota, where the Green Bay Packers are -3.5 against the Minnesota Vikings. Green Bay up to 4-1, beat Dallas again, just like they did it in the playoff game last year. Rodgers does it again, coming from behind. I was surprised about Troy Aikman on the telecast. Dallas was up a couple scores early in the game, and Aikman was like, Green Bay is not built to come back. And I'm sitting there going, doesn't Green Bay have Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL? They're not built to come back? With Rodgers, you always can come back. So I was surprised by Aikman. Sure enough, Green Bay came back. Dallas didn't do a good job with clock management at the end of this game. Left some time on the clock. Rodgers burned them. You know, I'll tell you, I got a lot of messages from Green Bay fans the last month. We have a bad defense. We got a lot of injuries. I want the defensive coordinator fired. With this, with that. You look up. They're 4-1. They're in first place. They beat Dallas again, and they have one of the best records in football. So despite all these deficiencies, Green Bay still does it. You know why? Because they got Aaron Rodgers. All right, Minnesota, 3-2, beat the Bears. Very good move getting Bradford out of the game last night. Bradford looked like a wooden statue back there. They yanked him. The backup played well. Minnesota's defense did some good things. It was a sloppy game last night. Penalties left and right, some bad calls going both ways. Terrible officiating last night. Minnesota found a way. I'm going to take Minnesota in a teaser here. I'm going to move Minnesota to 9.5. 9.5, and I get the home field. I like that. I think the game will be somewhat close in the Dome. I think that Dome will be rocking. This is a big game. I know Cook's out. I think Bradford being out might be a plus this week because he looked like he couldn't move. Probably better with the backup right now. I think Minnesota's defense can do just enough to hang in there. I'll take the 9.5. I'll take the home field. Minnesota makes it close. That's pick number 9. Pick number 10, let's go out to Oakland with the Oakland Raiders. A -3 against the LA Chargers. Chargers 1-4 beat the Giants. Finally got their first win of the year. Oakland down to 2-3. Lost to Baltimore, and they gave up 1,000,000 points. Their defense was as soft as a marshmallow. Listen, I know Carr was out. I understand that. But how about the defense stepping up? The defense was soft, got pushed around. They got pushed around by Washington. Not liking the body language of the Raiders right now. Listen, Carr gets back this week, we think. I think Oakland will rebound. They really need this game. Can't afford to go 2-4 in this division. Raiders need the game. Carr probably back, only 3 points. It's hard to see the Chargers winning 2 games in a row. You know, the Chargers, they always find a way to mess it up. I'll take Oakland, but Oakland's got to show us something. Oakland, that defense is soft. I mean, terrible performance by the Raider defense. I think they respond this week. With Carr being back, they'll be pumped up. They find a way to beat the Chargers. That's pick number 10. Pick number 11. Here's a strange game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers -3 at the Arizona Cardinals. Tampa Bay 2-2. Lost to the Pats on the Thursday night. Like I said, ugly game. Arizona 2-3 got bombed by the Eagles. No offense, no running game. Just an atrocious performance by Arizona. To me, this could be a throwout. I think Tampa Bay is better, but I don't trust them. So I may take Arizona +9 in a teaser. Again, I get the home field. I get the 9 points. Maybe Arizona shows some pride at home. And I don't know if Tampa Bay is ready to blow teams out on the road. I don't love the game, though. I may play Arizona just with the 9 at home in a teaser. It's not a good game, though. May throw it out altogether. That's pick 11. Pick number 12, very interesting game here. The Jacksonville Jaguars at home, -2.5 against the LA Rams. How about Jacksonville? Let's start giving them some credit. They are 3-2, beat Pittsburgh. The defense was awesome. 5 turnovers, ran 2 of them back. Bortles didn't have to do a lot in this game. 90 yards passing, only 8 completions. If I would have told you last week that Bortles was going to throw for 90 yards and complete only 8 passes in Pittsburgh, and I would have told you Jacksonville was going to win 30-9, you would have said I was crazy. But that's exactly what happened. All those turnovers. Jacksonville defense really good. I do think Bortles is going to have to do more if Jacksonville wants to get to that next level. They have a running game. Have the defense. I know their best wideout is out for a while, but Jacksonville needs Bortles to play better if they want to do bigger and better things. You look at the rest of the teams in this division with Tennessee having injuries and Houston and the Colts. Jacksonville right now in a good position, so they've done a really, really good job. LA Rams 3-2, lost to Seattle. This was a tough loss for the Rams. Dropped the pass in the end zone that would have won the game at the end. Started the game, Gurley's going in, he gets stripped, the ball goes through the end zone, they don't get any points there. Rams have a great field goal kicker, he missed a short field goal. Rams were in field goal range later in the game, they threw an interception on a screen pass. Rams must have left 20 points on the board last week, so that was not a good loss for the Rams. This is going to be a tough defensive game. I want to see a big crowd down there in Jacksonville. They've played 4 of their first 5 away from home. I want to see a spirited crowd. Look like you have a good team finally. I want to see that crowd electric down there in Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville ekes it out 16-13 in a defensive slobber knocker type of game. Jaguars pull it out. That's pick number 12. Pick number 13. Again, I think this game is off the board. Tennessee at home against Indianapolis. Mariota questionable. Luck questionable. Colts are 2-3. Beat the Niners in overtime. Tennessee's down to 2-3. Lost to Miami in a dreadful game. How about Tennessee the last 2 weeks? Loses to Miami, and then the week before gave up 100 points to Houston. Oh my goodness, Tennessee, what a disappointment. So this game is totally off the board. If Mariota plays and Luck doesn't, which could happen, I'll go Tennessee. Otherwise, I might just throw this game completely out. And then pick number 14. Actually, I'm not going to pick this game. The Thursday night game is a good one this week. This Thursday night game should be a Monday night game, not a Thursday night game. Carolina at home -3 against Philadelphia. Two teams doing a great job. Carolina 4-1 beat Detroit. Newton's playing well. The defense is playing well. Got a lot of weapons, Newton, now. He's got McCaffrey. He's got Funches. He's got Benjamin. Olsen will be back in about a month or so. Carolina looks like the team from 2 years ago. I mean, they look really good right now, Carolina. I know they had that bad loss to New Orleans, but they've had a lot of good wins in there as well. Beat New England, beat Detroit on the road. Really good job by Carolina. Philly, nothing but nice things to say about them as well. They bombed Arizona. They're 4-1, look really good. I like the quarterback. Two really good teams. This should be a Sunday night game or a Monday night game, not a Thursday night game. I hate Thursday night football. The play is sloppy. It's choppy. I mean, you just don't know what you're getting. That's why I'm just going to sit back and watch this game. At least this is a good matchup. A lot of the Thursday night games are terrible matchups. This is a good matchup. So I'll sit back and watch this game. Not going to play this game. It's a toss-up either way. Very good game. Both teams doing a nice job. Then we have 4 teams with a bye. Seattle with a bye. They're 3-2. Nice job by Seattle escaping LA. If Seattle would have lost that game, they would have been 2 games behind the Rams. It was an important win by Seattle. The defense really hung in there. They kept the Rams on 10 points basically the whole game. So Seattle found a way to win on the road. That was a nice win. Dallas 2-3. Lost to Green Bay again. I'll tell you, Dallas, their defense looks like Swiss cheese. I got a message from a Cowboy fan in week 1 saying the Dallas defense was going to be like the Doomsday defense. What? The Doomsday defense? This defense is horrible right now. Dallas looks like a completely different team than they were last year. That defense is atrocious. They did a terrible job managing the clock, giving Rodgers all that time to work with. They should have ran the ball more, Dallas. Dallas, not the same team. 3 losses already. So Dallas, not liking what I'm seeing from Dallas, especially on the defensive end. They need a bye week in the worst way. Cincinnati up to 2-3, have won a couple in a row. Beat Buffalo. I'll tell you, Cincinnati, despite all their problems, they're 1 game out of first place. And the Bills, just like I mentioned, they're down to 3-2. Lost to Cincinnati. I kind of had a feeling that was going to be a strange game. You know, Buffalo, everyone was, jumping on the Buffalo bandwagon. But you looked up and Cincinnati was favored by 3. Now, I won with Buffalo. I took them in a teaser. But I had a feeling that was going to be a strange game. It was. Bengals pulled it out. So Buffalo goes to the bye 3-2 as well. So there you go. That is your NFL picks for the week. As far as college, listen, I know you guys want some college football picks. It has been a bad year in college football. Look at where College Game Day is this week. James Madison, 2 weeks game day was in New York City because they had nowhere to go. Last week they're in Fort Worth for TCU, West Virginia. West Virginia already lost the game. Not a lot of great matchups. This week there are no matchups between 2 top 25 teams. The SEC is down. Listen, the top 8 teams, really good. You're going to probably, the Final Four is going to come from these top 8 teams that are there right now. Top 8, you're going to have some good matchups at the end of the year. Final Four playoff will be great. Right now, college football has not been good. Not a lot of must-watch matchups. The SEC being down has a lot to do with it. I mean, there has not been many great weeks in college football. This week, game day is at James Madison. 2 weeks ago, they were in New York City because they didn't know where to go. So college football off to a very slow start this year. As far as Major League Baseball, I don't know how many of you guys have been into the baseball. Houston advanced. They beat the Red Sox 3-1. Dodgers go to the next round. They swept the Diamondbacks 3-0. Yankees, Indians, Game 5 tomorrow. And Cubs are leading Washington 2-1. I believe Game 4 will start in a couple minutes, as a matter of fact. So there you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys are all set. As far as last week, I was good in the teasers, not good straight up against the spread. 2 weeks ago, it was reversed. I was good straight up against the spread, not good against the teasers. I got to put it all together. Right around this time last year is where I really started to take off. Like week 7 last year, really start to take off. But it's been so hard, I'll tell you why. About 22 to the 32 teams in the NFL are 3-2 or 2-3. 1 week up, 1 week down, 1 week up, 1 week down. Good, bad, good, bad. Quarterbacks out, injuries, this guy's out, this guy might play, off the board lines. Very hard to pick right now. So I'm going to hunker down. I'm going to start doing my homework. Time to get serious. I'm going to not do comments this week. Not do comments. I think we should all hunker down, start really doing our homework on these games, and start really starting to focus. Time to get serious now. This is right around the time last year when I started to catch fire. Let's hope it happens again this year. You guys, thanks as always for the support. You guys stay happy, healthy, and safe. You guys pick a lot of winners, make a lot of money. I will talk to you guys next Tuesday. Take care.